Hello and welcome to another day, another afternoon of talking. Today's 4 questions are: when do we work on ourselves? Do we spend too much time in our own world? When do we take responsibility? And do we make things too complicated? Now, you can end it here and go away and think about those yourself. But I always like to give you a bit of a ground base to work off. Something that I can relate to, something personal. It shows you guys what this means to me, and it also shows it shows you guys what this means to me. It shows you I'm serious. So, when do we work on ourselves? Today's world's busy, it's chaotic, there's things happening all over. And with work and family life and all the other elements. When do you find time to actually sit down and just reflect, work on yourself? Get to know you and whether the person you are or the person you want to be, the person you was to the person you are now. I seem to find that my preferred time schedule is maybe from 10 in the morning all the way through till 2 in the morning. You know, I'm not a morning person. I'm not a get up at 6, be in bed by 8 kind of person. I'm not a get up at 4, be in bed by 7 kind of person. Going to college taught me that. I hated getting up for college. I hated being woken up. I still do. I can't stand being woken up. It just grinds my gears. Especially if you get woken up in a hurry, or if you get woken up with some sort of attitude. I mean, the worst one I've been woken up with so far was bad news. I got woken up with my cousin passing. That was the worst one. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like being woken up. I have to set 5 alarms. I have to set an alarm to let me know that I'm setting these alarms. So the first alarm, bing, 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 bing. Okay, snooze it. Second alarm, bing, 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 bing. Okay, yeah, I'm getting up, yeah. Bing, 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 bing. Right, yeah, I'm up, I'm getting up. You know, the ones that I've tried setting my phone to the other side of the room. I've tried an old alarm clock, the ones where you set it and it's got the 2 bells on top, didn't work. I've tried an alarm clock with a DAB radio. That worked for a little bit, getting up to the radio, but then that soon died a death. I just hate being woken up. So that, I've understood that in myself, you know, as time's gone on. Understood why when me and Amy have gotten up to go somewhere or do something and I'm raggy in the morning, and she don't want to speak to me till we've had an hour to come round. I had to understand why in that first hour she's not really talking to me. Why? Oh, right, okay, it's because I'm raggy. It's because I'm not generally a nice person when I first wake up like that. It's hard to sort of wake up and stop that. You know, it's hard to first wake up and be like, okay, I'm gonna get up, brush my teeth, have breakfast, you know, do your morning routine. But to first wake up and see yourself in an angry mood and stop it there and then, that is a challenge in itself. Because you're instantly waking up and looking at yourself in a bird's eye view, in a third person perspective. With that being said, when do you find time to work on yourself? My times, like I said, in the early hours, I'll start typing away at this and I'll take a breather, and during those moments I'll think of what I want, think of what's better, for myself and for the people around me. That's my first question to you guys, for everybody. Not to anybody who watches these videos. I hope when you do watch these videos, whether you skim through them or not, I hope you can use them, or maybe take something away from it. Anyway, on to the next one. Do you find yourself living in your own world a bit too much? I do. It's not something I do on purpose. With what I'm trying to achieve, especially now, I have an idea, something that I'm a little bit passionate about. These 4 projects that I'm working on right now. This is one of them, and I have another one in the works, and I hope to get another one going soon. But it's all a matter of timing and seeing where things go. But with that being said, I find myself not struggling to think of Amy, think of my partner, but more so calling up on people, checking up on them, that sort of thing. I find myself sort of not, I suppose, self-absorbed in my work, in what I'm trying to, again, get off the ground here. But then is that just an excuse? Now, because I'm not very good at ringing up people and checking up on them, making sure they're all right. My friend Ollie, who you saw the other day, we're going to do some more videos together, and I keep in touch with him and I keep in contact with him because we're good for each other. I can bounce off him a lot, and me and my friend Ollie, he's a good friend for me because he understands me. He understands that I'm not the easiest person to get along with, but he understands, in a sense, how to deal with these moments, and I can talk to him openly and truthfully, and we can have some good sort of back to forth debates, and it's always good to have someone like that. Ringing up family members over in Ireland or down in Norwich or London, I'm not so good at. I can't. It's not a matter of I don't want to speak to them. And I suppose part of it is I find myself at odd hours and I'm like, I should have called them. But it's like going on 9 o'clock. Okay, so maybe I won't call them now because they might be asleep, but I'll call them tomorrow. Tomorrow will come and I'll completely forgot that I thought I'll call them, even dropping them a text. There's been some people that I've not spoken to for quite some time, and I thought there's so many times where I've gone to send a message or even pick up the phone and just call them, and I can't do that. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm still trying to understand why. When I formulate a way to express it, you guys will be there with me. I'll express it to you, but it's not where we're going today. But I seem to find, not intentionally self-absorbed. I don't think I'm an arrogant POS, but yeah, I do find that I'm in my own world. And I notice it as well when I'm driving. The amount of people that you find in their own world. They're great and all, the safety features of the car, of new cars, aren't they? They're fantastic, the little yellow lights on the wing mirrors, the features, and everyone wants to be higher up so they can see things. But no one really actually is observing or seeing things. Everyone's relying on this technology. So they're in their own little world, middle lane hoggers, people who refuse to move over into the left lane or the middle lane from the right lane. It's just, that is another subject that I'm passionate about. I don't know if you got the hint there, about those particular drivers. But that goes on to another subject, which we can talk about. I'm quite happy to open up that topic. We will open up that topic, but not right now. The point is that I see a lot of people just in their own zones, in their own worlds, behind these vehicles. Not only behind something that's 1.5 tons, 2 tons more, but he's oblivious. It's one thing being oblivious in a car, but how much do you take that and just, it's in your daily life, we're oblivious to so much. So my question to you is, do you ever notice that you're in your own world? Do you ever find that you're in it too much? Or do you ever find that you're in it not enough? I think it's about finding the right balance. My other question to you is, when do we take responsibility? Now, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because we all struggle with aspects of responsibility, whether it's something you've done wrong or something you haven't done wrong, and you might be taking the responsibility to protect somebody. Or maybe it's something that you've done wrong and you don't want the responsibility. Maybe it's not even that it's good or bad, maybe it's just a job or a chore or a physical aspect. Maybe it's an emotion that you don't want the responsibility of. I think the reason why I ask, when do we take responsibility, is because we all have a responsibility to each other, to life, and to the planet we're on, regardless. In my position, there's not a lot I can do to, let's say, reduce my eco footprint. I have a bidet, so I don't use toilet roll. My car is a little hatchback, doesn't use much fuel, doesn't take much to run and fill up a tank. Doesn't mean to say I wouldn't like a newer car. I did have a Ford ST that I wrote off. I would like that again. I don't litter. I like to make sure that I'm not a person who, let's say you finish something in your car and then you just wang it out the window. You're in your car. Like, it makes no sense to me what that thing was doing in your car that meant that you had to throw it out the window. You just enjoyed a packet of crisps, you throw it out the window. What, did that packet of crisps, when it was finished, suddenly have a personality, threaten you with a knife and say, take me to the nearest bank, take me back to Walkers so I can refill myself and never get thrown away? It absolutely blows my mind, does that. You've gone to the McDonald's and the minute it's finished carrying your food, it's on the roadside. For what reason? My point being is, again, when do we take responsibility? If you see someone in trouble, would you take the responsibility and help them? I suppose it depended on the situation or scenario, right? Would you try in your power and help them, whether it be mentally or physically or emotionally, whatever it may be? I'm okay with responsibility to an extent. We'll go back to the driving, shall we? Again, I'm learning myself. I'm learning that if you were to get annoyed at other people's idiocy, you're no smarter than them. Now, it's not about being smart, it's not about being whatever. The point of this is just that we be better people. So rather than me getting annoyed at someone middle lane hogging, I should learn not to get so annoyed, and it's just we go around them. But at the same time, they should learn not to be there in the first place, right? It's that simple. They move over, boom. We never got annoyed, they were never in there. That's example one. So in turn, it causes me to, I don't say drive erratically. I'm not one of these people that you see that they're swimming in and out of traffic with millimetres to go. But If the middle lane's empty and there's all of these people doing 65, 60 in the right hand lane, and I can go further doing 70 in the middle lane, technically you're undertaking them, I will. If I see a big gap over in the slow lane and there's loads of people in the fast lane, do you think that I'm not going to go in that gap? Because I'm advancing myself further. And everybody sat in these lanes, just, where are you going? You are going somewhere, yeah, true. You know, you're still moving forward, but it's congestion. It's just sat there for no reason. You're overtaking air. Please make it make sense. I seem to be getting distracted by the driving thing. It seems to be making a few points today. It annoyed me the other day. It really ground my gears. I was coming back from a destination. The amount of people that were sat in the right hand lane, that there was just wagons flowing freely in the left lane, which, you know, isn't terrible. That just means that everyone's getting the goods. Everyone's causing traffic in what is supposed to be the overtaking lane. Not even the overtaking lane, but it's make it make sense, please. It boggles my head. It really boggles my head, and then it irritates me, and I get like this, and I'm like, I can't make it make sense. I can't make it make sense that drivers, that people, I am going off topic. I need to pull myself back because I'm also getting wound up. Anyway, going back to what we're talking about, I noticed I'm getting wound up, so I need to bring it back down. It's a thing that happened ages ago. It's a thing that's gonna probably happen, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but it doesn't need to happen for the remainder. As I learn and grow to not do certain personality traits that aren't good for me and other people, people should learn not to hog the lanes and sit in lanes and just, you know, I've forgotten what the initial point was. So we'll move on to the next one, shall we? We'll skip that. So this question here, I was speaking to a really good friend of mine about, and I thought, were things better, simpler? And I thought this could be like almost a two-parter question, almost, you know. So were things better when it was simpler? And was the better time period the 1980s to the early 2000s? Was that the best time period? If we could sort of combine the three and make a 1989, 90, 2000 period summit, do you know what I mean? A concoction. The reason why I say I think it's a two-parter is because of the first part is, do we make things too complicated? Phones, when they first came out, were just this big lump, this big brick. You know, you could make a phone call on it and think that was it. Then after a few years, you can then text, send an email. A few more years, you can then play a game, use a calculator, turn on a torch. Then a few more years, you can do all of that and bank, social media. You can get apps to calm you down, you can get apps to bring you back up, you can get all sorts. Do we complicate things way too much? When I was growing up, it was, right, you better be home when those street lights come on. If you're not going out tomorrow. So I knew, without a phone call, without a text message, without an alarm, because that was my alarm, street lights are on, right, I better go home. Right, Mum, I'm home. Okay, the street lights are on. Let's say it's winter time. Well, because it's dark, I want to be able to see you at either that end of the street or that end of the street, no further. And that was fine by me because it was cold, I didn't really want to go far. I didn't need phone. But then when phones did, eventually, one did land in the palm of my hand, my first phone was a hand-me-down, and it was a little thin pink thing, and you could flip it, and like the buttons were on just 2 rows of buttons. And then after that it was a Nokia, and then after that it was a Sony Ericsson, and then after that it was a BlackBerry. I remember, I think it was up until I got the BlackBerry Torch, I didn't use the internet whatsoever. I saw the icon, I didn't touch it. I thought if I touch it and I load the internet for even a millisecond, I'm gonna get charged hundreds and hundreds of pounds on the next bill. So I didn't touch it. So there was just BlackBerry Messenger. Now, BlackBerry Messenger was great. Besides the pings were good. Oh my God, the pings. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it was like, I don't know, what does a ping these days actually? I don't think you can, but it's just like a little alert. Rather than send a message, you could go onto them and ping them and it would just vibrate their phone and just be like, oh yeah, okay, this person wants me. Simple. But then, I can't even say for certain when, the internet became needed on phones. I think it was around the time when I got the BlackBerry, because BlackBerry Messenger used internet, so you needed more internet. It was okay if you were at home, at school or something like that. Well, not at school. But it was okay because you had Wi-Fi, you know. It also meant that on Wi-Fi you saved on your bill in case you were pay-as-you-go, or just in case you didn't have a cap like I did once. I remember I didn't have a cap and I went over the bill, £600. I learned that lesson well because the next month I went over my 300. And thank the stars, thank whoever you want to thank. But the woman at the other end of the phone, when she heard my grandma at the other end, she says, do you know what, my son's done the same, we'll scrap the bill, we'll start off on a clean slate. Because not only did she save my grandma £300, she saved me the biggest lashing I could have got. Because it was only the month before I'd spent shit like a bag. Anyway, it goes back to, it's that thing of, you know, I didn't have a cap. So, you know, you didn't have a cap or you were pay-as-you-go. The Wi-Fi thing was a blessing and it was great. You didn't have to worry about going over your bill. You didn't have to worry to go into the shop and saying, oh, can I put a £5 on this? As time's gone on, we've complicated it. We've had Tumblr, we've got Instagram, you know, TikTok and everything else. And as it just, there's so many distractions, but not even just distractions. Like that could be another topic that I have in mind. Do you not think they're just complicated? Why can we not do this when we get home? We don't have to have it on the phone. Don't get it wrong. I like to scroll through Instagram when I'm on the toilet. Who doesn't? What did we do before? I'd seen a post the other day about these 2 comedians in Manchester. I'll see if I can find the video.
I was going for a shit, man.
Your phone?
No, I don't need it.
You're not going to scroll through your phone while you're having a shit?
No.
Whoa, wait, mate.
What?
What are you going to do then?
I don't know, I'm going for a poo, mate. What's the issue?
Mate, get your phone and scroll through Instagram. You can have a shit and not scroll through Instagram.
We just bang on, like, what did we do before? Did we used to sit in the toilet and just read the shampoo bottles? I can't remember what I did. Maybe it's because of all the weed I've smoked, but I can't remember what I did. Before the phone, before sitting on the toilet. I've done it before where my phone's been on 1%, gone to the toilet and been like, got any games on? I don't have any games. So what do you do then? Do you not think it's just, there's so much of a farce on the phones? It's just, do we not complicate things too much? You know, you can ring up to talk to your bank about something, and I understand there's security and stuff, but there's so many extra steps that you need to remember and validate to prove who you are. I am a little bit concerned as to when I'm going to be 50. How many steps are there going to be then, and how much grade would I have smoked by then? I'm not going to remember the first 2 steps, let alone the 15th step. And then there's all of them are doing it. You know, it's one thing if you've got authentication, but then, like, part of my problem is I lost one of my phones through an unforeseen circumstance. But I lost this phone. So a lot of my Trading 212, my Coinbase, banking app, my authenticators, Snapchat, right? Because I didn't have access to this phone which had this number on, I couldn't authenticate this device. It was such a hassle to go through steps and sign in to things on this phone. I still haven't even got to the Snapchat because the code gets sent to that phone, which I don't have because I don't have the number for. It's just a farce. And then when you try to contact people, there isn't such a thing as customer service anymore for some of these things. It's just people sat at a laptop at home, get an email and then can't be asked to deal with it, but they've still been paid because they've handled your case or your situation. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. And it grinds my gears. Do we make things too fucking complicated? Yes, we do. I went to even going to the petrol station wasn't that fantastic the other day. I went in there. Yeah, is that cash or card? It's gonna be card. Okay. Do you have your club card? No, I don't have my club card. Okay. So would you like to pay using your club card points? No, I don't have my club card. Oh, okay then. So that's gonna be £20.25 or something it was. Is that cash or card? It's card. Okay. Is it contactless? Well, it doesn't really matter. But then I'm thinking, what's all these extra steps? A few weeks ago, I went to McDonald's. Ordered through the tannoy, drove round. I've got my phone in my hand, guy. Listen, I've got my phone in my hand, and the guy goes, "Is that cash or card?" What the fuck do you think, my man? Is that cash or card? And I've got. Okay, I don't want to. I can't get annoyed at people. I've got to learn. This is the whole thing, right? We're going back. We've got to learn together, guys. Come on, man. I'm getting annoyed at somebody else's lack of common sense, but this is what I mean. Common sense ain't so common no more, and I don't know if it's because there's distractions everywhere. I don't know if it's because of, I don't know what it is, but again, we're here to talk about it. We're going to see through it, and we're gonna knuckle down, and we'll sort it out. One word or what? Sort it. Yeah. Those are my things for today. Before I continue on, it seemed like today was a bit of a ranting session, but especially about idiot drivers. Anyway, we can pick up that idiot driver one. I'm not finished with that. I do want to talk about that one, but I'm not just yet. Not just yet. We will talk about that though, because. I'm laughing because I get it of how it gets me, how it winds me up. These people. Anyway, as always, guys, I want you lot to take care. I really do, and I want you lot to take care of each other, because this fucking world, man, it's tough, and it is getting tougher. But we're the people in it, so we can choose to make it better, right? We can choose one day at a time, one little gesture. Hiya, you alright? And then just go back to it. One thing, just don't make people. Anyway, take care of yourselves and we'll take care of each other. Yeah? Until the next one, guys. Come on, Dougie. We're gonna hit that.